man. Go away, skunks.
Skunks are not always everybody's favorite neighbor, but this time of year we're seeing more than usual. We have 29 orphans. And so this is an interesting time in the life cycle of a skunk, and there's a reason why we're seeing more of them around at this time of year. So right now the young are, somewhere between 5 and 7 weeks old in general, and although skunks are mostly nocturnal, so they're spending most of their day sleeping, the babies are out exploring during the day. So when we see these young animals often out 5, 6, 7 weeks old, they're playing in front of the den, we assume maybe they're orphaned and mom isn't around and mom is sleeping nearby in the den underground. So it's quite common to see these guys out and about as they're exploring their surroundings. Of course, these guys at this age are fully capable of spraying. Urban skunks tend to be very accustomed to us being around. A rural skunk out in the country, if approached, good chance it's going to try and spray you. In the city, because they're accustomed to people being around, they're going to give you lots of warnings. They're going to stomp their feet, they're going to growl at you, they might even perform a handstand. If you see a skunk going through these motions, that's your cue to get out of there. Unless it's an exceptional circumstance, we don't recommend trapping skunks. Not only can that be a dicey proposition, as you can well imagine, because they are pretty stinky neighbors, but studies show us that translocating or moving skunks from where they are to another territory, their survival rate is very poor. So you might actually be condemning those animals to long, arduous suffering if you move them. Also, this time of year, they often have babies. So you might move the mom and not realize she has babies and leave those behind. Of the 29 skunks that we have in our care today, most of them are orphans in that exact circumstance. Some people will put out, little bowls of food, for example, to feed feral cats in the city of Edmonton. They'll plant gardens with tasty food that might attract skunks, or perhaps you're putting out your garbage the night before garbage day and not the morning thereof. All those things are considered attractants. So when you have those sorts of things in your yards, you're going to attract skunks, even coyotes and other wildlife as well. Skunks are actually pretty good neighbors. They eat our dandelions and our grubs, they eat wasps, they control mice. They're really great to have around, and we usually don't see them because they only come out at night. But if you have a child or a dog and a skunk is living under your porch, that can be a problem. At Wild North, we always try to convince people to get these guys to move along naturally. So making it an unpleasant place for them to hunker down during the day. So we're putting light underneath your deck, for example. We're playing a talk radio, making that noise. And you can even try the most effective thing, which is if you have a dog, your neighbor has a dog, and you take a little bit of that dog poop and you put it underneath there, the skunks will think that a predator can get into their den. It's now an unsafe place to stay, and they'll often relocate on their own.